Welcome back. This is Inspiration for an Elegant Week. Last Monday, we explored the concept of don't take it personally and how we need to know ourselves better. Let's start with anger. It's the emotion we understand the least, but that impacts us the most. So we need to find out how, why, and when we feel angry. And here's why. When we understand anger, we can take control of it and filter it in ways that are helpful. But if we let anger control us, it makes life more difficult in every way. Last week, I had to deal with yet another problem with my health insurance. This was part of an ongoing drama that had started last year when I'd had to change my insurance under the Affordable Care Act. The policy I had before had never given me any problems, and now I was having these endless difficulties with something that I hadn't even wanted in the first place. Sound familiar? I hadn't even picked up the phone before I started getting annoyed. So I had no choice but to call the 1-800 I am angry number. As I was waiting, an automated voice kept reminding me that my health was important to them. This blatant inaccuracy made me even more angry. What I wanted was some genuine acknowledgement that I did matter in some way. A more expeditious route like press 5 if you're angry, we understand and help is at hand would have helped. Instead, there was just more waiting. Let's just say any elegance I had evaporated by the time I spoke to a real person. And I know better. I know that being angry rarely gets you what you want as effectively as being polite. And there's a consequence too. The person whose job it is to deal with us angry people probably leaves work every night consumed with their own anger about being the target of everyone else's anger, and drives home in a rage which ends in a row with their spouse, who goes on to have an argument with somebody else. You get the picture. Normally, it takes a lot to make me angry. So what is it about this situation that triggers that response in me? Well, there's a laundry list. For a start, it felt just plain unjust. I had coverage, and being turned down made me feel like a victim, exploited and undervalued. It was intrusive and stressful. I simply don't have time for this nonsense. And it was a matter of integrity. I'd done everything right, but the system had let me down anyway. And anger for these reasons bubbles up everywhere, particularly as we now live in a world driven by technology that's constantly changing, and we are always being challenged to catch up. All I really need, most of the time, is to talk to a real person. But now I have to call the 1-800 I am angry number, or be asked to do somebody else's job by going online where success is just a click away, which, as we all know, is never true, and that makes me angry too. I understand the Colorado man who got so mad with his malfunctioning computer that he fetched his gun and fired 8 shots into it. He was tipped over the edge of reason by this system. And then, to make matters worse, the police came and arrested him. I remember when I was a child, my father, who was, incidentally, the most wonderful man in the world, got so sick and tired of a teapot that wouldn't pour properly that he took it outside and jumped up and down on it, turning it into 1,000,000 pieces. I understand. But the little things can turn into big things. Jumping up and down on a teapot is one thing, But when anger takes over, we become careless of our manners and our physical safety. And then when we lose it altogether, it puts us and others in danger. In a small town near here recently, two guys who didn't even know one another got into a road rage fight, which got out of control when they left their cars and got into a fist fight. Another driver, not seeing them soon enough, accidentally killed them both. This is extreme, of course, but it never helps to lose it. We need to filter our anger and know how and when to use it. So here are some times when filtered anger can be most helpful. It can give us more confidence, which boosts our ability to take risks. Being so angry over the insurance gave me the push I needed to make an appeal. It can give others confidence in us. British celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay uses anger in his TV show Kitchen Nightmares to give others the confidence in him as a resourceful and caring leader. It can give groups the confidence needed to be brave and clear enough to change society for the better. Without anger, there wouldn't have been a march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, and no subsequent civil rights legislation. It can give partners in relationships confidence in one another, because anger can be a sign we care by helping to get things out into the open so they can be handled productively. And sometimes, by standing up to anger with more anger, can actually stop a bad situation from escalating. So here are some ways to get elegant with anger. Don't beat yourself up. We all get angry. When you start to get angry, take a step back and put some space in there. And then ask yourself, why am I angry? All too often we deny the real cause and act out on others who just happen to be in the way that day. And we all know how unpleasant it is to bear the brunt of somebody else's anger. Remember, the 1-800 operatives are people too. And here's my personal favourite, the elegant opt-out. Intuitive healer Carolyn Mace suggests having an angry hour every week in a safe place where we scream, shout, and let it all out. We're all different, so find your own way to let off steam. Run up that hill, go dancing, scream at yourself in the mirror, and then you can let it go. You'll make the lives of all of those people who have to deal with your anger, like waiters, tech support people, shop assistants, drivers, teachers, and loved ones, a whole lot better. Thank you for watching. Have an elegant, peaceful, and productive week. And don't forget, schedule your elegant opt-out. You'll make the 100 people so glad if you do.